Hello, my name is Zachariah with Old Man Gaming. Above me, you are seeing Wizard's Respite Ash.
Hello.
And this is The Last Tea Shop, The Endless Road. The Last Tea Shop is a game based off of a solo journaling game by Springleaf Villager. You can find that game on itch.io. All the music here is done by the man who makes the music, my brother Nick Van Sliders. You're about to watch a 15-minute episode. Hope you enjoy. We'll get right into it. Alright, so the diplomat walks into the mist, candle in hand, and the tea shop owner gets up and kind of just feels the need to walk out after him, just to kind of watch him go. When he does, he notices that the minute the diplomat steps down off the front porch, he starts to create this moss on every footstep he takes towards the mist, so to speak. Then you feel like this moss would brew one hell of a tea.
I definitely will collect it in and start. I guess I would start making the tea now, wouldn't I?
I don't. Hold on a second.
Wait, okay.
Well, let's ask this question, because ladies and gentlemen, this is the finale. We're going to say that right now. We have rolled the final. The Veiled One is coming. My question is... what happens next?
There was a special thing for the Veiled One, wasn't there?
Yeah, I need to read the Veiled One. We probably should have read it before we started. Well, no, it's not on the hidden path, so I think it's just, let me see. Ending the game. When the days reach 24 or more, Veiled One arrives. Follow the question ritual as the Veiled One departs. Ask the final question, what happens next. I know how I want to do that, so I'm very excited about this all the way around. So go ahead and I think we still roll for weather, right?
Okay. Yeah. And the weather is going to be bruised purple fog, pained.
God, this is good. Okay.
I
love this game. I love this game. How perfect is this? Okay. Alright. So you collected the shaggy moss from the footsteps. You have that as a tea. You still have the gun in your tea shop. And days pass. The fourth day, when you're expecting, just because we've been used to it happening on the fourth day, comes and goes. And you feel this sense of ominousness. This sense of like... whatever the prophet warned you about is coming next. And you're going to have to make some sort of decision. You're not exactly sure what. And sure enough, you wake up in the tea shop, and you are kind of, again, called to the door. You go to the door, and you look out to see this this purple whatever, and you can just feel this pain in your chest. Just emanating from where your solar plexus was. You can just feel this hurt. And it is both a physical pain, but it's almost manifested from a heartache of unfinished business, of unfinished times, of unfinished things. And then you kind of turn around, and when you turn around, almost materializing out of a shadow is the Veiled One. Just this formless black mass that stands like 7 feet tall. It looks only vaguely humanoid and translucent at the same time. Literally like it is a creation of a shadow. Like if you were to see it in your house, you would think it was a trick of the light. And it stands there. Knowing that you can see it, you kind of freeze in the darkness. And then you hear its voice inside your head. And it goes, "It's time to choose." And then it begins to brew tea, which is a very strange thing indeed, as you watch it kind of like move things, but the shadow grabs it and moves it. It's almost always attached to the wall in a weird way, even though the stuff is moving. So it both looks physical in front of you and also flat at the same time.
Okay. I look to the gun hidden in where I've left it, And I look back at this thing and realize the gun's going to do me no good against a shadow, against whatever it is that's in front of me, death.
When you think about the gun, when you see the gun and you think about the gun, you actually start to think to yourself, maybe I could kill it with the gun. Because this gun is not a normal gun. This is a gun of living. Like, this attaches to the physical world. Maybe this is the thing that could kill the Veiled One. Even though at first you're like, I couldn't use that gun, and then there's a little voice inside your head that says, hold on a second. Hold on a second. That gun has countered just about everything that seems to be set in place in this world. Why couldn't it counter the Veiled One?
Okay. I start moving towards the gun. And I ask the Veiled One, what is it that brought you here?
The Veiled One stops for a second, and then it turns back, and you hear its voice again. I'm not going to try and do its voice, because its voice isn't a voice. It's almost like you hear the words in your head in your own voice, basically. Like, it's almost like you're thinking of the words, and you just know it's from him, even though there is no, like, tone or anything to it. And basically the words in your head appear because of you and because of that, and it points at where you have the gun hidden. However, you now are closer to the gun than the shadow. You could make a reach for the gun. Like, that is a thought. But it points to you, and it points to the gun, and goes, because of you, because of that, because of who you were, who you are, and who you could be. Because of the things that could have happened that didn't happen, and the things that did happen that could have.
What is it you want from me?
It continues to brew the tea. The tea starts to seep, and then you see it grab the shaggy moss tea and put that down in the cup, and then pour the water over the shaggy moss. As it's doing it, it goes, it is a concept of the world previous you known to ask what I want of you. I don't want anything. Everything here is part of a mechanism that you are currently a part of. You have to decide what you want to be.
I look to the gun and I consider his words very carefully. And I go to the gun and I pull it out of the cabinet and look to him. Does it do anything?
There is actually like a snap to his head that he kind of like looks back at you and the gun, and you hear in your head, interesting. I thought after what you found out that would not be your choice. And then he stops and he finishes pouring the tea and he puts it down. He goes, a choice you haven't made yet. And he goes, you have a decision now. And he looks at the tea and he goes, you can drink this tea. He looks at the candles. He goes, you can light a candle. He goes, or you can use that. And he points at the gun. You are in full and in fear of this thing.
I look down at the gun. I look down and I think about the people that I have served tea to over the last several days. The farmer who didn't think he had anything, but had left a legacy of filled tables and happy faces. The librarian, the FBI agent, the lighthouse keeper that watched over children, the librarian that knew just a little bit of everything, and all of them lived lives even the man who was angry and filled with like bitterness for his own actions, they all lived lives that in the end sent them on their way and on their path, and they could let go of what they regretted in some manner or move on to something else. And I looked down at this gun and I remember seeing the woman, the prophet, in the vision I had after the ram struck me, over a body, bleeding, crying in panic. And I take the gun outside and I throw it into the mist.
Okay.
And I return to the table and I sit down with the tea and I say, I think I need to go someplace else. I think my time at the tea shop may be at an end. But I don't want to do it.
Okay, continue. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I don't want to do it that way. Okay, alright. He looks at you and he goes, if that is your decision, drink the tea and have your reward.
I look into the mist to see if I can't see anything one last time. Something to remind me of who it was I used to be or what I was missing.
Okay, if that's what you're asking the mist, you see the mist swirl into the face of the woman.
Okay. I then drink the tea.
Okay. It's at this point, the tea shop owner, you hear a voice. Mr. Smith, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Sure enough, you wake up, and then there is the sobbing of the woman who loves you very much, the blonde woman who you saw in the tea shop. You're not exactly sure how she was there. Maybe there's something to time. Maybe there's something to not understand here. But the doctor then explains to the tea shop owner, we were able to take the bullet out. The operation was a success. You were going to live. After all, you're going to survive. You're going to live a very long time. And sure enough, you are okay. You have returned to the land of the living. As per the tea, the Shaggy Moss tea. And that's it. That's the end. So the tea shop owner's reward is he gets to go back to his life, and instead of being dead, he is alive again and gets to live his full life with his wife. Yep.
Wow, that's quite a story to get to.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. We have a couple of minutes to talk about it. I think that. God, I love how this game just leads you right to the place that it needs to be. Like,
It does.
It really does. The minute you got that Shaggy Moss, I was like, oh, it's a thing of recall. Like, that's perfect to give him that choice at the end. And just for the record, I had a resolution for each of the three choices.
Okay.
Like, by the time we had started that episode, I had a resolution for all three. The Shaggy Moss was take you back. You get to live your life. That's your reward for what you've done for the Veiled One. The candle means you stay as the tea shop owner. Your life is over, but your tea shop life is the one that needs to be, and you continue to be. That tea shop owner continues to be a tea shop owner. And then the gun was basically the bad ending, where if you shot him, you shot yourself, and he would just evaporate, and you just be there with a wound in you, and you just fall down and evaporate, and then it was like the tea shop was never there.
But I didn't pick that one.
Yeah. Right.
Well, this one had a happy ending. This was nice. Lots of ups and downs through through this story, through this journey, and like you were saying, like this game. We rolled the atmosphere being bruised purple fog and the emotion being pain for the last one.
Yeah. It's crazy how this game works. How this game just gives you exactly what you need in your head. But that is the season finale for season 1. We will be back with a season 2. It will be me rolling up the tea shop and Wizard doing the running of the tea thing. He will be all the customers and deciding what insanity I have to deal with. I hope everybody else enjoyed this. I hope everybody enjoyed this series. We're definitely going to keep doing it. We know how much you guys love Tea Shop. And I think this is a really great format too, because we literally have to record like once every month and a half or so. So it's going to work.
Keep these going.
Yeah, really good for us. Really good for you, really good for us. So we'll talk to you guys later. That was another episode of The Last Tea Shop, The Endless Road. Come back next week where we do another customer. Check out wizardsrespite.com for all of your fun TTRPG needs. Check out everything Old Man Gaming has to offer you. And you can also check out the base game for this wonderful game, The Last Tea Shop, Springleaf Villager. You just search Last Tea Shop on itch.io and you can actually get it for free. It's an amazing game. And we'll see you guys next week.